All right, happy Monday. Happy Monday. Here we are on day six of our Leadership Foundations Masterclass. And so here we are. We are almost done. I mean, you have been going strong for 5 sessions. This is pretty wild. This is pretty crazy. The value that you folks have been giving each other in the recaps, in the homework, I mean, has been phenomenal. I absolutely love it. I adore it. I see Rhea and Caroline and Erica. I see Michelle and another Michelle. I see all kinds of people. Renee's popping on. Here we are. Jennifer, happy Monday. Thank you. You know, so why am I wearing orange today? Well, I have to tell you, and I don't know if she's here quite yet. Hello, Lisa. Hello, Fitzy. How are you all? I have to tell you the reason why I'm wearing orange today. Hey, Allie. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back, Jessica. Happy Monday. You all are committed. You're coming here on a Monday to grow your leadership. Hello, Erin, Rhea. Welcome. I'm so happy you all are here. So thank you, Jen. Yes, I love this color. And the reason why I'm wearing orange today is a couple different reasons, but I wanted to share them with you. Christiane, MJ, great to see you both. I'm glad that you are here live. I mean, because it's Monday, but you are committed to your success, which is why you're showing up. So if you are here live, go ahead and give me your favorite emoji. Let me know that you're here live. And if you're listening to this replay, go ahead and give me, give me a little checkbox so I know who is here for the replay and who is here live. MJ is here, day 6. Katie's here, Lisa Morissette. Lisa, did you know you won this weekend? Woo, Lisa, congratulations. I'm happy for you. You won your wellness kit. We have another winner that we're selecting today. Michelle A is here live. Rhea, I love your favorite emoji. Christiane, oh, love it. Darcy, yes, bright colors. Carol, yes, it is cold. It is cold up here in the Northeast. Chris, I like it, Chris. Yes, Jen, that's great. How is it February 1st? I know today's the first day of Black History Month. Today is freezing in New Hampshire. Hey, Michelle, we are, I don't know, it's like 8 degrees out. Our kids are getting sent home. We're getting a big blizzard and all kinds, not really a blizzard, but enough to send our kids home from school. So it's pretty wild. What's up, Nick? How are you? Hey, Alicia. Hey, Sally. Good that you are all popping on here live. Katie's here live. I see your emoji. So if you're just popping on right now, Sally's emoji is there. Great. So if you're just popping on right now, if you are here live, go ahead and plug in your favorite emoji. Oh, Renee, I love the unicorn. Erin, that's great. MJ. And if you're here listening to the replay, a little checkbox. Okay, so live, Celia, Erica's live, Michelle, you all are popping on in. Abigail's here, Shannon's here. So Shannon just arrived here, and I want to give a huge shout out to Sharon. Her and I talked this weekend, and she says, I want change. And she immediately joined into our leadership program, and I'm so proud of you. I'm so happy for you. So give a little love to Shannon. She is on board. So all you folks who are part of our leadership program, expect to see her smiling face at our sessions. She's now taking full advantage of that. Okay, so for those of you who don't know me, I'm Dawn Reby. Welcome. I'm glad that you are here. Celia is popping in with her live. She's live. Alicia's live. Lisa's live. Michelle. It was chilly this morning for Michelle because it was 39 degrees. Okay, so we went sledding yesterday in 23-degree weather. It was pretty wild. It was not bad, but after about an hour, my toes started freezing over. But I will tell you, I had fun this weekend. Where the kid, so for those of you who know me, know in my heart, right? We got to have fun with life. Leadership of self is a priority. Welcome, Alvin. Welcome, Nick. And so leadership of self is a priority. So you bet that I went down those big, huge hills in the sled, just the same as those little kids did, as my 10-year-old did. We got to keep it exciting. I was backwards. There was snow down my pants. It was a good time. It was a good time. Hi, Alvin. Good that you are here. Welcome. I'm excited Alvin's here. He's actually going to be a phenomenal speaker for us in March. I can't wait. He does a lot of work with leadership. has experience with military leadership, with policing leadership, and all kinds of leadership. So I can't wait for him to share his story. Ria said it's about 68, 69 degrees. Ooh, it's cold for you, Ria. Yes. Erica, you're going sledding too? All right. So why am I wearing orange today, right? Why am I wearing orange today? Well, a couple different reasons, but I want to share, I got on the phone with a bright, energizing person who's from Florida, and I'll let you know her name in a second. I got on the phone with her, and oh my gosh, the energy, this 15-minute call turned into 45 minutes, and she's such a delight, and she's from Florida. So Celia, it was so good talking with you. And it really made me want to put on something that was bright and exciting for a Monday training, right? For a Monday training. All right, let's see. No, you are good, Andy. You are good, from Roanoke, Virginia. We are happy that you are here. Here, what is sledding, says Abigail. Exactly. So that's when this white stuff gets onto the earth and it's cold and you wear multiple layers of clothing and slide down and you freeze your butt off, but the wind is blowing your hair back and you just feel amazing. It's awesome. It's awesome. All right. So here we go. And so I have to say, I've taken a look at your homework. I know some of you are playing catch up. If you are playing catch up, go ahead and type in catch up right into the chat right now. You're doing the feedback, the recaps, the homework. If you're missing out, if you have not seen and read what other people have shared, go back to Unit 1. The ideas are phenomenal. This unit is going to go poof after Wednesday, okay, of this week. So you want to make sure that you catch up, that you check it out. We had some amazing Alvin's catch up. Ria's catching up. Yeah. We had some Alicia just caught up. We had some amazing speakers this weekend who have found success in such different ways. So if you missed out on the weekend's session, we built out the relationship mapping piece, which we're going to do a little bit more of today. And we heard from Jen Koner, who has really moved her mindset into 100% leadership in a phenomenal way. We heard from Ria Gerstenkorn, who spent a lot of time really in a difficult situation and lifted herself from that and now leads teams in her regional networking group, as well as is just a person of influence. You all know Ria. I know she's the person we call, she has the tree, and she has like the roots everywhere because she's connected to people somehow. So she has a great story. And Angelica also shared her story on Saturday, where she went from a place of not feeling very confident about herself to a place of beautiful confidence and direct and command of her life. So it was really wonderful to hear from her. Those are all in Unit 1. It's one video in Unit 1. And then, oh, look at that. Welcome. We got Maria popping on board. You're working on playing catching up. No worries. You take your time. You have from now until Wednesday. Wednesday, everything goes poof because we have new stuff coming up. We have new exciting stuff coming up. And then on Sunday, for those of you who missed Sunday, Sergeant Ria popped on board and he shared his story of, being in charge of a bunch of different things, SWAT and some detective work and patrol and intel and all these different things, and having, an agency of about a couple hundred officers, and now he's in charge of intelligence too, and how he did all of that, right? Welcome, Christiane. Yeah. And so, so Nick really shared from a sworn perspective, how to humble yourself and how to create that work-life harmony and leadership of self, and how to really tap into the resources that are literally right in front of you. You're here for a reason. The universe brought you here for a reason, right? And so, and so you're here for a reason. Nick took advantage of the resources, and I certainly hope you do too. So Ria says, yes, Florida is an awesome place. I can't wait to go down. I'm so thankful to be the speaker, one of the speakers in the June conference. And then there's like a whole slew of you that we just gotta go like find a swimming hole and jump on in and just enjoy each other and get to know each other better, and go to the training. Ria and her team has amazing things planned for you. So I can't wait to be down in Florida with you guys. It'll be a lot warmer than it is up here in New Hampshire. Way to go, Darcy. Yes, glad you are here and joining us. So I definitely wanted to congratulate Shannon. We hopped on the phone and she's like, I've been looking for a group of people to really accelerate my growth in leadership, and she joined on board immediately. So a huge congrats to you. And I know you have some other stuff happening. I can't wait for you to share your success story pretty soon. A couple of things that you all as supervisors should know about that we have coming up before we dive in. Who has seen the new February calendar? It came out this morning. Has everyone seen the new February calendar? It's pinned to the top of the Tribe of Excellence Facebook community page, right? And what we do every month is we pin to the top everything that's going on for the month, right? Yes, you had your interview today. Oh, my fingers are crossed for you. Absolutely, Shannon. Yes, boom, Nick. That's right. That's right. Nick was phenomenal. You guys should check it out. He's just done a great job building the infrastructure for his team in a state that does not have a strong focus on analytics. And so kudos to Nick for really stepping up to the plate. So if you have not already seen it, that's okay. You're going to go back. We're actually going to have a little contest after this, and someone remind me at the end of this. We're going to have a little contest after this that when we're done this session here, I want you to go to the February calendar, and I want you to take a look what's going on, right? Take a look at the things that we have planned. And I have to say, typically in this group, we meet once a week, right? We meet every Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern, and we have a different topic of leadership, right? That we're talking about, that we discuss. Sometimes we have guest speakers, like we'll have Alvin on and David, and we have some book authors, Mike Marino coming on, and I'm going to try to squeeze Annie Mitchell in on here. She doesn't know yet though, so don't tell her. And so we have some great speakers coming up for you to really boost your leadership growth, right? Usually every Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern, unless it's noted in the calendar if we had to switch schedules around. We also share special events, and we have a special event coming up on February 16th, and it is limited. It is free. It is limited to 20 people only, and 20 supervisors. And what we do is we give you a supervisor toolkit to help move your team into performance excellence. Right? So we spend on February 16th from 1 to 3 p.m. Eastern, limited seating, 100% free. You show up, we give you a toolkit, and we walk you through how to optimize your team, how to perform a productivity audit on your team, and how to do this review on a regular basis, how to prioritize with your team and get everybody communicating and singing on the same sheet, from the same sheet of music, right? So if that is like, oh my gosh, your dream come true and you've been dying for a session like this, go ahead and let us know in the chat right now, whether you're listening to the live or the replay, and we'll see if we can snag you a spot. So this is February 16th. It's only for supervisors or people who are leading teams, because we give you a supervisor toolkit to help grow your team and prioritize your team's priorities, right? So it really is a wonderful session. So that's going to be available to you, and there's only 20 seats. So if that's of interest to you, go ahead and plug it in right now. And if you don't mind, just say supervisor PPM, so that when we go back to this, video, we know who wanted the supervisor PPM. Okay, so Nick, Aaron, I think a couple of others raised their hand. Just so we know, go ahead and type in Supervisor PPM for Peak Productivity Masterclass. Supervisor PPM, and then Caroline or myself will reach out to you. Caroline or I will reach out to you, and we'll get you enrolled, assuming you're one of the first 20. So Renee is in, Lisa is in. Yeah, this is going to be great. Aaron is in. Great. So whether you're listening here or to the replay, make sure you type in Supervisor PPM. And if there's more than 20, then we might consider having a second session. Usually we only do them once every 2 months. So, so if you can get in now, great. If we have a surplus, maybe we'll squeeze another one in, but I'm really thinking that this might be the only one. Thank you, Alvin. I appreciate you. And if, I believe she'll be, oh, look at this. Dawn is absolutely phenomenal. I think you're phenomenal, Alvin. In a few short years, I believe she will be known worldwide for her extraordinary skills in leadership development. You are super sweet. Thank you. Thank you. I've been known to have a little bit of energy. I have cut down on my coffee consumption. I stick to tea. Well, that's not, after coffee, I stick to tea. Oh my gosh, it's funny. So yeah, life is too short to not dive in and jump in and absorb every minute of fun of it. And that's why you will see me sledding with my 10-year-old. And that's why you will see me upside down on a paddleboard in August 2021. It's happening. It's just going to happen. It's just going to happen. Take a bite out of life, right? Leadership of self, leadership of career, love your life. Be the CEO of your life. Absolutely. Okay. And so February 16th is our supervisor PPM, only for supervisors. So if you don't have a team yet, we love you, we care about you, but we really want to gear this one toward supervisors only. Even if you have a team of one other person, we just want to make sure that we're working with the supervisors, because it is a supervisor kit, right? Because it is a supervisor kit. Okay. But for those of you, if you're just like, oh, sugar, I want to be involved in that. Why can't I? And even though I don't have a team quite yet, we'll have something for you too. Don't worry. We have lots of resources, and we will have something for you as well. So for those of you who have reached out and said, I need like more information on the things that you do. This tribe is great, but can someone just kind of give me the lowdown on the things that we do? We do have info sessions as well happening on February 10th. So everything that I'm talking about right now is in that calendar that's pinned to the top of the page. This month is all about leadership of self. This month is all about finding your white space, creating that pause, getting quiet, right? All of that. And so you'll see a lot of stuff on that. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you for putting that February calendar out there. So the contest, or the goal for this, is every single person who's live or on the replay to get over to that calendar at the end of this. Get over to the calendar if you haven't already at the end of this. Look at what's going on in February and let us know what you are looking forward to most. Is it the white space one? Is it the session on simplicity? Is it the session on leadership of self? Is it the info session? Is it the supervisor PPM? What are you looking forward to most? So we always have the month pinned to the top of the page. So next month, you're going to see Alvin's name up there, because he's going to be pinned to the top of the page as one of our awesome speakers. I can't wait. Yes, Michelle and Caroline, I always like to point out, thank you, Jen, for reminding me. So Michelle and Caroline that's our team, right? That's our team. Oh, we got some lighting things happening. All right, there we go. So Michelle Lay and Caroline Collins are phenomenal. They are our team members. They are just instrumental in putting all of this together. We all met at 6:30 for Michelle and 7:30 this morning, just to make sure that we had everything we needed to have in place for you for this masterclass series. So a huge thank you to Caroline and a huge thank you to Michelle. Caroline's been sending you guys messages. If you couldn't find your workbook, she's been sending it to you. If you needed to get tagged on something, she's been making that happen. Phenomenal. A huge hearts, happiness, whatever it is for Caroline. And Michelle has been putting together the materials and doing a lot of the back end stuff for us here, doing our social media. And so I'm so thankful for the both of them. They are flipping rock stars. And I'm also thankful for our team members who are supporting each other. We have Jen Koner, we have Ria Gerstenkorn, we have Angelica, she's on Facebook as Katarina. And so, and of course, Nick, who gave his presentation or gave his story this weekend. So a huge shout out to all of them, and a huge shout out to you for doing the work, for showing up. And so I want to talk about the showing up, right? So the work that you all have been doing every day, little bite sizes. So this is an intensive course, right? So this is 7 days of every day, bam, bam, bam. And so this is a lot. And yet you are keeping up. You are making it happen, and I'm proud of you. I'm proud of Abigail, who did the homework for day 5, and she talked about leadership of self being a priority. She talked about confidence, right? Growing her confidence as part of her leadership growth. Erin had some really good knowledge where she said that, a lot of folks were talking about people listening to them being like the leadership piece, and she wanted to point out that it's a small part. Listening is a small part of leadership. It's just a small part. And you're so right, Erin. Authentic communication, supporting others, is all of these other key components that, we've been sharing with you here, kind of overview, but that we get into a lot in our programming. So you're absolutely right, Erin. She talked about how it's not just about being assertive. It's not just about, telling what you want to tell, but really giving people, and I loved this. This is like a nugget. So thank you, Erin. She said, give people a reason to listen to you when it matters, right? When it matters. Give people a reason to listen to you when it matters. So Darcy, yes, the supervisor PPM is February 16th. At 1 p.m. Eastern to 3 p.m. Eastern. And if you want to book your slot, there's only 20 slots. If you want to book your slot, go ahead and type in supervisor PPM, and only do it if you know you can show up, because there's going to be more than 20 people who want to do this. So if you're just like, I definitely want a free toolkit for my team, type in supervisor PPM, and we'll make sure that you are part of that training, that supervisor training. All right. Leisha talked about, family motivations, as we're thinking about what do we want to know about people? What do we want to know about people? What's the relationship that we want to build? And so she had some really good ones. Motivation, how are they motivated? What's their family like? What are their biggest blockers, their strengths, their fears? And what I liked about hers, really talking about the relationship goal. Like understanding that each goal is different. It wasn't this blanket approach of build relationships. It was really nurture this one, grow this one, build this one, based on where she was in all those relationships. So that was great. Darcy talked about long-term success. Building relationships is part of long-term success. Darcy, you were right on. I loved that. That was awesome. Jen made a great comment about do-overs. So let's say you really screwed up a relationship. Let's say you really screwed it up. Or maybe they just don't like you for another reason, right? Jen Kohner talked about do-overs. Like, hey, can we just have a do-over? We got off on the wrong foot. Let's nurture this. Let's make this happen. Let's move toward the vision together. I loved that, Jen. Great job. Celia realized that some of the relationships that she wanted to develop were at a superficial level, and she took real efforts to dig deeper into those relationships. In fact, that's who I had the call with. If I didn't mention it already, that's why I'm wearing orange for you, Celia, because you are full of energy and enthusiasm. And I loved your energy, and you made me feel like an orange today. You made me feel orangey and peppy. So thank you. Thank you. Michelle talked about building quality relationships, not just having this blanket approach of I need 100 best friends, right? But really thinking about the quality of those relationships. So kudos to you. Chris had some great ideas. Sally had some great ideas. Lisa, Michelle, a different Michelle, Annie Pollock, you all were talking about growing internal and external relationships. And that was something that I did want to mention is if you find that you are only intentionally growing relationships with your immediate circle, that's probably a good place to start. But you want to think bigger. You want to think network. You want to think, who else can I build a relationship that's going to help me grow in the position that I want to grow? So let's say you're a supervisor. Yes, you want to build relationships with your team, absolutely. But you also want to build relationships with other supervisors, maybe with your chief. I think there was someone who said, I want to build a relationship with my chief. I'm so glad Celia's going to put on something orange too. Yes, I love it. I love it. And so, really thinking about outside your network, who you can develop those relationships to, not just work, but even some other arenas. We have people here who are moving from public sector to private sector, and they're realizing do I have relationships outside of my public world? And so if you work for a small company, or you own your own business, or maybe you work for a law enforcement agency, are you confined to just that agency, or have you stretched your wings a little bit and developed relationships with people outside of your immediate network? Have you really increased your center of circle influence, essentially, right? And so that could be personal too. I think of, for me, financial goals are a big deal for me, being debt free and really using my money in a smart way, and giving back to my community. So how do I do all that, right? How do I do all of that and still send my daughter to private schools and do all the stuff, right? And so, even though I'm not personally connected to Dave Ramsey, I still, listen to his podcasts and connect in that sense, because I want that in my brain. Yeah, exactly. The snowflakes have begun. Exactly. All right, let's see. So, So the homework was phenomenal, and I know that it's still coming in, so we're still going to be looking at it. I know some of you are on days 2 and 3, and that's okay. We're coming in. We're acknowledging you. We want you to feel supported. If you feel like this has been a great support for you over the past week, I want you to put a blue heart in the chat right now. If you feel like Jen and Rhea and Angelica and Caroline and Michelle and myself have been supporting you like no tomorrow, I want you to give some love to them and put a big heart, a blue heart in the chat right now. Yes, you facilitate his financial peace for a few years. Lisa, me too. I'm a FPU facilitator. I believe in financial development, financial independence. We work with all of our clients to really ensure that they're on a great financial path. Really making sure, not giving financial advice, but really helping to tie up loose ends and get focused around the power you have when you don't live in scarcity mindset, the power you have when you know where your money is going, right? That's a key component of leadership. So Rhea can't find it. Chris's blue hearts. Yeah, our team has been phenomenal. Erica, love. I see it. Michelle is loving the support from the team. Celia, Maria, Katie, Alicia. Yeah, you all have been just phenomenal. Another Michelle, both Michelles are loving the support from this team. And it really is remarkable. MJ is loving it. Most of you have received a message from me or from Caroline to further you along in this, to help get you to be knowledgeable of what's going on in case you lost your spot. Some of you, I'm so proud, you never even had Facebook and you joined Facebook just for this masterclass. So we've been trying to help you through that as well. So Jessica, Robin, Michelle Wentz, Aaron Jones, Leisha says Tribe of Excellence is one such avenue for external engagement. Yes, exactly. It's all about network building. Great sessions on leadership development. Awesome. I'm so glad you're enjoying it. Abigail is loving. Lisa's loving all the support. Jen is feeling the love. Welcome, Robin. Glad that you are here. Nick says, I got great advice from a former police chief who landed a dream job after LE. He said his resume was not confined to the four corners of a piece of paper, but in the relationship connections he had made. Let's get out there. Yeah, building that strong relationship. Absolutely. Nick is loving the support. Renee is loving the support. And Caroline, I see it all. Yes, that's why you just gave up and you wrote it, Rhea. That works. And Nick is right. Sergeant Rhea is right that, a lot of times we are so narrowed in our thinking because we only present ourselves in narrowed thinking environments, which is okay. That's a good place to start. But once we've developed those relationships, we really want to, or in combination, I should say, we really want to expand beyond our little police department, our little corporate job, our little business, right? We want to expand beyond our little, grant, financial development, whatever it is that you're whatever banking industry, whatever industry you're in, you want to expand beyond it. Because the value that you get from other industries, the value that you get from other people, other leaders is incredible. I'm in a book club on Sunday nights, and with a real estate agent, another entrepreneur. Well, he's a real estate business owner, another entrepreneur, an HR director, like people from different arenas. And once a week, we get together and we talk about our book that we're reading and how we're applying it to our lives. We're currently reading The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. And so their perspectives are so different than mine, and my perspective is so different from theirs, and we offer each other such great value, right? Such great value. Oh, thank you. And so, and it really helps hearing other people's perspectives. So if you have your relationship mapping group right now, you guys are awesome. Thank you, Caroline. Thank you, everyone who's showing some love. I appreciate you. So if you have your list right now of people that you're building a relationship with, and not one of them is from outside of your comfort zone, then, I encourage you to get outside your comfort zone and connect with somebody right now. So Darcy says, in book with several teachers and entrepreneurs. Darcy, are you in a book club too? Yeah, and Lisa, we are just like this. It's pretty wild. Welcome, Trisha. Glad that you are joining in. honestly, it truly brings value to me, because something that I hear from an HR director in a corporate environment is very different from working with a chief in a police environment. And a chief is going to have a certain set of priorities, and a HR director is going to have her priorities. And it's the value that you get from these different conversations really allows you to be flexible. It allows you to make choices about your life and your leadership that are going to advance you in that right direction. Welcome, Pearl. Darcy is a once a month book club person. That's great. That's great. So in our leadership program, we actually pick a book as well. We have 3 books that we're working through, and that are great books, and we rock them out together. We rock them out together in our leadership program. So for those of you who are looking for something like that, we definitely can help you with that. Kill a calendar. Yes, Michelle and Caroline got to look at my calendar recently, and it's pretty wild, but it's about goals. It's about priorities and making the time for the things that matter. So Alvin says, go to drop off. We'll catch up, Dawn. Oh yeah, go for it. Yeah. Let's see. All right. Yeah. So here we go. So seeing yourself as a leader is the first thing that we talked about in this masterclass. Seeing yourself as a leader. If you have to look in the mirror, like I'm going to look in the mirror right now. If I'm looking in the mirror, right, and I'm saying to myself, I am the CEO of my life, and I build my life exactly the way that I want it. I build it first in my mind and then in real life. But if I don't build my life and I'm just reactive to whatever's thrown at it, right, whatever's thrown at it, then I'm not going to get the results that I want, because I don't even know what results I want. But if I'm like Alicia Lamb, and I want that room, that pink room done with that chair in it, so that I can sit in there and relax and enjoy, and I have my vision of where I'm going, then that's what's going to happen. Right, Erica? Right, Ria? Right, Alicia? When we know what we want, we can go and get it. Like I see myself upside down on that paddleboard. Years ago, I saw this group happening, and people I will tell you, years ago in law enforcement, I worked with some federal funders, and I said, we need this. We need a group that meets on a regular basis. We need a platform for law enforcement supervisors. We need a platform for supervisors in general, who can come together and connect in this way. And, and they were just like, oh, we don't really need that. I'm like, no, we need this. And so I had this vision in my mind that other people said I was nuts. They said I was nuts to be putting this thing together. They were just like, what are you thinking, right? But I had a vision in my head of what I wanted. And now, we have several group sessions with leaders a week that get together. Like I'm living my dream. Coaching leaders and supervisors and managers and bringing leaders up. Whatever you put into your mind can happen. So imagining yourself as the person you want to be and then engineering it backwards is exactly what needs to be done in leadership. Yes, shout out for Alicia in the pink room. I love it. Yes, exactly. So we talk a lot in our programs about creating that vision, and sometimes it takes a little time to do that. But you really do, in order to be the leader of your life, both at work and at home, creating those ideas of what you want to be true with such vividity, vividness, right? Whatever the word is, with such clarity is so key. Abigail says, sometimes the people with the crazy ideas make history. You are already a legacy. This is awesome. You're amazing, Abigail. Thank you. And so I think about, the people who get outside that box, like Renee and her retreats and all the things that we've been learning. And imagining what you want is the first step. So that's what we talked about, is really seeing yourself as the leader you want to be. That was day one. We did an influence rating to see where you are on your scale of influence and where you want to be. And there was some great reflection around that. So if you have not already looked at that, then go back to Unit 1 and take a look at that. We talked about the leadership mindset, the vision, results, rising others, and building legacy. Those notions are always going through a leader's mind, whatever industry you're in. What's my vision? Where's my team going, right? What results are we looking for in that 80-20 rule? Spending all of your time on, the items that produce the most amount of results, the people, the energy, the thoughts that produce the most amount of results. And then rising others, right, as a key component of that thinking. How am I going to rise people? How am I going to rise people? And if you're looking for a way today, write this down in your notes. Look for the post called Rise Each Other. It's found in our units called Success Stories. Rise Each Other. I believe Abigail has already nominated somebody, and it's everything's free to you. This is just a platform for you to rise other people. So she, nominates folks. I think Erica nominated Carol, Rhea had nominated, Nick got nominated. There were a bunch of people who got nominated, a different Nick, right? And so it feels good. It feels good to get nominated. It feels good. And that's an opportunity for you to rise in leadership and rise somebody else up. So check out the Rise Each Other post. It's phenomenal. Yeah. And then, we talked about fears. Fears are real, but they're a what? Fears are real, but they're a what? Who's going to be the first to let us know what fears are? What fears are? Yes, thank you, Michelle, for putting in the February Rise Each Other post. That's phenomenal. And I forgot to mention, at the end of the month, our team goes in, we select a winner, and we send them a wellness kit on your behalf. Like there's, like a little, like you were nominated, and a nice little wellness kit, because I'm all about wellness. I love my little wellness stuff, right? Yes, wellness is a choice. Erica has it. Michelle has it. Abigail, Rhea, yes. Fears are a choice. Did I say wellness? I meant fears. Fears are a choice. That's right. So we talked a lot about fears and that they're real. And my hope for you, Michelle and Erin, and everyone else who's typing in right now, is that you recognize, Lisa, that you're not alone. You're not alone in your fears, but we need to work on these. We need to work on these to build that confidence. Do you think that last January when I started going live on Facebook that I had I was scared too. I would show up and there'd be 0 people and I'm like, oh my God, is this going to work? But I did it every single Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern. I was here showing up. And now we have this beautiful team of almost 900 people here, which is amazing. Yes, so wellness is a choice too. It is. Yes, both are a choice. And so fears are real, but, holding on to those fears and making them a barrier for you is a choice, right? Is a choice. And so, we can come together to squash those fears and to really lead you into success. And then what leaders do, who remembers the 4 quadrants of what leaders do? So if you have your little box of things that you are doing, things that you focus on as a leader every day. So here's, I'm going to let you write those 4 boxes into the comments right now. And I'm going to show you how I do it as a leader in my company. And so every Friday I have my 4 boxes and I write out what I'm doing, like, what's my goal for each of those boxes, right? And the activities that I'm going to do the following week to achieve the goals in each of those areas. Yes, you guys got it. Purpose, vision. Yeah. So we have the box on purpose, which is you are the alignment chiropractor, right? Creating that vision and things that you can do. So every Friday I have my little boxes, I have my little goals, and then I create my inspired action steps that I'm going to do the following week to reach those goals. So when people say to me, how do you get so much done, right? It's because I start from my priorities. I start with my priorities and I literally time chunk them into my schedule. So yoga for me is a priority, right? Taking really good care of myself is a priority. It literally is time chunked into my schedule, all right? 6 to 7 a.m., okay? It's in my schedule, it's happening. Creating purpose and inspired vision, right? Inspired action toward that vision. And so that is in my schedule. How am I going to do it next week? I might, have a conversation with a staff member. I might bring it into our programs. I might, align it with, help someone else form their own visions, right? So thinking about that vision piece and creating inspired actions every Friday that you plug into your schedule the following week. That's how you get stuff done. Because if you approach the following week with, oh my gosh, I'm just putting out fires, it's Monday and it's crazy, right? Then that's exactly what it's going to be for you. But if you say to yourself, these are my priorities, these are the things that I think about, right? These are the things that I'm going to think about, and these are my priorities. You plug them in first, then they happen. So Lisa says, this is what I'm going to do today, schedule myself in. Yeah. Absolutely. Carol, I've almost felt bad. I sent my calendar link to Caroline and I'm like, oh, she's gonna be like, what the heck? So it literally says yoga. It literally says all the stuff that I'm gonna do. date night, the whole shebang, Caroline says, let's see. Yes, we have a video about 2 weeks ago. Yes, with apples. If you search the page, search the page for apples. There's a little search button. There's like a magnifying glass. You can click in apples and you can search that. It's in the units. We saved it to the units. Yeah, exactly. I love that little image of the apples versus the almonds. That's a really good reference. So Ria says, leadership of self, efficiency systems, high purpose people and environments. Yes. So those are the core pillars. These are the core pillars that leaders are thinking about on a regular basis. So leadership of self, plug it into your schedule, right? Efficiency systems. There should always be time in your schedule where you're thinking about, what does my team need to be successful? What systems can I put into place? What policies and procedures can I tighten up? What videos can I produce that are going to help onboard people more effectively and efficiently, so that I'm not spending my time sitting with people for 45 minutes, over and over and over again, right? Over and over and over again. Thank you, Caroline. Yeah, it's a great video. Oh my gosh, Michelle, you found it. Michelle clicked it in there. Yeah, go ahead and save it somewhere. You got to listen to it. It really is inspirational. And I completely stole it from, one of the great leaders that I follow in terms of the visual. So he did a great job. So I gave that to you. So it is great. It's wonderful. I love that video. And so thinking about efficiency systems, how do we operate more efficiently? How do we oil our machine? What things and obstacles are in our way that we can remove them, right? Yeah, you are quick on it today. Thank you, Michelle. That's our superstar, our quick superstar there. And then number 4, so purpose, leadership of self, efficiency systems, high purpose, people and environments, right? Investing in your people, investing time, energy, gratitude, care into your people, and removing the obstacles that are in their environment, right? And removing those obstacles that are in their environment, right? To help them do the best job that they can do. And that's really what we're focusing on a little bit during this series. We're focusing on, the relationship mapping piece and how you can build this out in a systematic way so that you don't lose track, so that you're not losing people, right? And so that you're really aware. Okay, so we talked about that. So in terms of the relationship mapping, yeah, she's on fire. I love it. In terms of the relationship mapping strategy, where we're really in this quadrant right now around people, right? Around people, the first step was to identify 5 or 10 people. And for you flipping rock stars who identified more than 5 people, great. Maybe you identify 5 people a week intentionally that you're going to build relationships with, right? That you're going to build relationships with. And so the first step was to identify the people. And if you missed this, just go back. Everything will be here until Wednesday. After Wednesday, Unit 1 will be gone. We'll be back to our original programming, okay? Original schedule. So make sure you take a look at the review. So, you go in and you choose the 5 to 10 people. You develop the categories. This weekend, we, aside from our amazing speakers, if you haven't seen that, this weekend, we also talked about the goal. So first you identify the people, and now you identify the goal, right? Whether do me a favor, whoever's excited to type in really, really quick here, the relationship goals that you can choose from, right? So there's build, grow, nurture, maintain, right? Build, grow, nurture, maintain. So the steps of this relationship mapping are identify the people, identify your categories, right? What do you want to know about them? And go back and look at other people's categories. They had some great ideas. I was impressed. I'm going to grab a few from you guys. And the next step is to identify the goal. What's your relationship? What's the current state of your relationship, and what do you need to do? So if you don't know the person at all, right? If you don't know the person at all, you're going to just build a relationship with them, right? If you know the person and you want to deepen that relationship, right? You can deepen your relationship. You can grow. You can build. Grow. That's right. So Lisa got it. Renee got it. Ria rather got it. Build, grow, nurture, maintain. Nurture are those relationships that might be a little bit wishy-washy right now. Maybe something happened and you need to fix the scenario. And so identifying a goal is key. And the final step of this, which is today, is relationship strategies. So now that you have the people, you have the categories that you want to go discover about them. If you know every single category about that person, if you know their family life, if you know their pet life, if you know their goals, if you know their barriers, if you know all that, put in a category that you don't know. Create an opportunity to learn. Create an opportunity to learn, to listen, right? So now we're talking about the strategy. What do you do? How do you nurture? How do you grow? How do you develop these relationships? And so there's 3 things that you want to think about if you're following along in your workbook here. 3 things you want to think about, okay? People are the key. People are the key to developing your influence. You do not develop influence in a vacuum. So if you are locked in your office right now, or on a regular basis, and you are not connecting with people, you will not have the influence that you want. You will not be the leader that you deserve to be because you don't have people involved. People are the key. Relationship building is the key. And that's why this masterclass is focused on this relationship building piece. My hope and my intention for you is you're going to walk away with immediate value. Of the folks who are here live, and those of you who are listening to the replay too, who is feeling value so far over the past week or so? Who's feeling value? If you're feeling value, throw in, let's see, what kind of fun emoji can we do this time? What kind of fun emoji can we do this time? People are the key. Maybe a checkbox. Maybe a checkbox. If you feel that, do we have checkbox already? I like the earth. Why don't we do something with global stuff? Like, I like the earth. I like preserving Mother Nature. I'm all about the trees. I'm all about eco-friendly and solar paneling and all that fun stuff. So if you're up for this, if you've been finding value, go ahead and put in something eco-friendly into the chat, whether it's the globe or a tree or an herb or whatever it is. Or you can be like Nick and type in value. But I like emojis. I like the earth. There we go. Shannon likes some herbs too. Holy basil to reduce some of the stress, right? All that fun stuff. Yes. Sun, Rhea got the sun, Carolyn got the earth. I like it. Alicia's covering all bases with the check mark and the earth in case I change my mind. I love it. There we go. Yes, many of you are feeling great value in a bumblebee. I love it. And look at the trees. Yes. And so this was our mission, to provide you value. So we're going to wrap up value today. We're going to give you one last spurt of value tomorrow to wrap up these sessions and then give you next steps. Rockstar, look at you, MJ. I love it. I love it. Eco-friendly cars. I love it. Earth, globes, and trees, says Jen. Maria got her globe in there. You guys are all pretty awesome. Awesome. Is that a volcano? Mountains, volcanoes. Sunshine for Chris. Michelle is maybe a volcano or a mountain. I'm not sure. So, people are the key. People are the key. Thank you, Michelle. People are the key. Oh, there you go. Wine made from grapes. That's awesome. So when you're building relationships, and this should be a priority of all supervisors and leaders and aspiring folks. I love it, Amy. Thank you. Be intentional, be authentic, and visit it often. Oh, I love it, Darcy. You got some rainbows in there too. That's great. Be intentional, be authentic, and visit it often. Authentic means that you really, truly want to get to know this person. Intentional is what you're doing with the planning of this, being really intentional. Being authentic is true. Like, you're not just, like, hi, my name is so-and-so and moving on, right? You just really look into this person's eyes as a human and get to know them as a human, and visit it often. This is not a one and done. This is not a one and done. This is something that you do on a regular basis. This has to be a core value. This has to be a core value to have authentic, intentional relationships. Okay? So what's the strategy? So building requires frequent, let's see, I took some good notes here. Building requires frequent interaction with lots of discussion. This is exploratory. This is brainstorming. This is, what do you think? What do you think about this? What do you think? So building a relationship with someone is that kind of like, tell me about this. So if you're looking for specific language, tell me language, right? Tell me about this. Tell me about that, right? Growing requires this deeper discussion, right? So maybe you're in a book club and you're growing a deeper discussion relationship with somebody, right? Maybe I wrote down some notes of some different strategies that you all were mentioning, but really this is the deeper piece. This is the one-on-one. This is the cup of coffee. This is the glass of wine. This is the, let's have a chat. This is the deeper relationship, okay? Nurturing requires reaching out with empathy. Look at your coworkers. Look at your bosses. They're humans. Are they, ill? Is someone in their family ill? Has someone passed? How's COVID affecting them? You know, what can you do to nurture your relationship with them, to really think about what's happening in their world where you can actually nurture it intently. And then maintaining requires reassurance, right? Knowing them and reinforcing what you know about them. So what are some strategies that you can implement today, right? What are some strategies relative to, you know, the build, grow, nurture, and maintain? Well, you can have happy hour, right? Some of you talked about having a happy hour or some kind of fun Zoom. A lot of supervisors I've noticed during COVID are trying these mandatory meetings, right? Where they're like, come to this meeting and tell me everything you're doing. And it's boring. and the folks are just like, oh my gosh, this is taking up so much time. There's one person I'm working with, and it takes up 4 hours a week, and they literally just go through all the stuff that they're working on. Like, how inefficient, right? And so Shannon says, make everyone my homemade chicken mushroom risotto. That's great. I love it. Everyone who except the vegans, right? You gotta hold the chicken for the vegans, right? And the vegetarians. I love it. That's super kind, Shannon. That's very, very sweet. So instead of having like, give me the lowdown on every little thing you're doing kind of meetings, maybe you have a fun Zoom meeting or some kind of, mimosa marathon. I like it. And maybe you have some kind of fun, eventful, yes, you discuss priorities. You as a leader need to know your people's priorities, right? Yes, you discuss priorities, but maybe you make it fun. Maybe you make it fun. And Renee and Aaron and a couple of you were talking about retreats, right? Maybe you have some virtual retreat where you send your folks a little goodie bag, right? Of something, a little something in the mail, or a letter. It doesn't have to be very expensive. It could be a letter in the mail, right? And you show up to these retreats. Maybe it's a crossword puzzle. Maybe it's something at these like mini retreats, these virtual retreats that builds your team together. I think it was Renee, but I don't want to say it was Renee if it wasn't, but her team, if I'm thinking of you, Renee, let me know if this is you or not. What's that room? Those rooms where the team has to work together and then they unlock, what the heck are those rooms called? It's like you all know what I'm talking about, right? Those, mystery rooms where you go into the room together and you have to like solve all the keys and the puzzles and you get the next key and you open up the door. I forget what they're called, but they'll escape room. That's what it is, Darcy. Escape room. Thank you. So it might have been you, Darcy. It might have been Renee. I'm not sure who it was, but their team does that. Their team does that together as a way to build relationships, as a way to build those relationships. Yeah. Thank you. You guys are awesome. Darcy says group relationship building questions during team meetings. Not only do I get to know them, but they get to know each other better. Fun questions, like a game, can be as simple as what your favorite movie, book, or TV show is. It really can be so simple. It really, really can be. You guys are awesome. You guys are all telling me it's an escape room. Thank you. We do every holiday season as a team. This year we did virtual one, which was a bit harder, but still fun. Yes. Leisha says recognition of work done during the week, certifications of appreciation, and serve as motivation for others. Yeah. So these are great ideas. Yeah. So if you're thinking about how to, build a team culture and a team relationship, getting them together, yes, to set priorities. Yes, to, highlight someone who's doing a great job, right? But if it is 100% work and 100% like task focused, then it's so micromanaged and it really doesn't give them ownership, right? Celebrating their successes, giving them ownership is so key, Rising each other posts, we already talked about that. Virtual coffees. As a supervisor, you can print out a coffee mug, right? And, because you want your analysts to connect too. So you can have these virtual coffees or virtual tea sessions, like hand them a piece of paper and say, go fill this up. You have 5 people to connect with this week. And learn something relative to whatever their function is, right? Let's say you're building a real-time crime center and, you want some input and ideas on that. Maybe you as a supervisor help your team own this, right? And you give it to them and you say, we're going to set up 10 virtual coffees with real-time crime center people. You're each are in charge of 2, and then come back to the table and we can talk about what you've learned and how we can grow together, right? And how we can grow together. Yeah, virtual coffee dates are fun. Virtual coffee dates are fun because you just like, let's meet virtually. Let's just have a coffee date. I've built the best relationships. A chief was like, I just need to see your face before we hire you. I'm like, okay, let's do it. Let's get on a Zoom. And it was like 4 minutes long, and they're like, oh, cool. We just want to make sure you're human. And people look for that. People look for that. They get a sense of who you are. Let's see, handwritten cards. We talked about Andrew Butts, who's like phenomenal at this. And so, handwritten cards are a great way to connect with your team. Shannon says, I heard on this podcast an idea to build art or stories by letting each person add one thing or word on each turn. Yeah. So in policing, I know a lot of you are in policing here, but even in corporate culture, it's hard sometimes because you have so much work to do. It's hard to take a step back and realize that the work is better done when people are aligned with the mission and the team. And so you must put it in your schedule to work on this alignment, You've done cards, Lisa, awesome. Caroline says, loneliness is a massive health crisis in the world right now. Absolutely. How do we, oops, cancel whatever I just did. I think I pressed a button I wasn't supposed to press. Yes, I'm not pressing any more buttons. we'll hold there. Leisha says, great idea. Some persons think it should always be from level downward. Yeah, it could be from each other. Like, what if, Leisha, you brought to the table that every single staff member was to nominate somebody else and rise them up and find something good in someone else, right? And so if you're teaching that, you can do that from any level, right? So what if that was the goal? What if every month, during one of your weekly meetings, it was rise each other time, and their job was to, it could be silly, it could be draw a picture, or it could be just highlight the 3 things that you admire or you saw this person doing well. You are training your team to see greatness. You are training your team to see opportunities, to see gratitude, to see greatness. So that's fantastic. Yes, leadership mindset, Jen says, no matter what we are in the management chain. Exactly. Personal conversations, right? So for those of you who are in the workforce, the physical workforce, like getting in a room, even if it's socially distanced, right? Getting in a room and having a conversation. Shannon says, work family is just as important as blood family. Yep. And I encourage you, everything that you're learning here, apply it to your family and friends too. How many of you are like, oh my gosh, I haven't talked to my friends in months or years, right? How many of you had a bestie that you used to connect with and COVID kind of derailed that? How many of you have not visited your parents or, whatever, because of COVID or whatever reason? And really thinking about how you can build relationships with them too. Lisa says we spend more time with work people than we do with the home people. Yeah. And so sometimes the effort at work and home has to both be something you focus on. Seek to learn. Getting on a phone call with someone and just for the purposes of learning, right? So putting it in your, as a supervisor, instructing your people to learn something new. Go seek to learn and bring it back to the crew. Seek to learn and bring it back here, or teach each other. Michelle says, I love to get my friends a random Starbucks gift cards. Oh my God, I love that, Michelle. I love that. Yes, I love that. Getting them random gift cards. Alicia says, missing my friends outside of work. Leisha says, we did an exercise at the beginning of one meeting where each staff was asked to describe their colleagues with one positive word. I love that. Okay. And so, how many of you, here's a really good one that I have not heard mentioned here, and I want to mention it because this is a really good one. Many of you are hiring people, or you're looking to create culture, right? How many of you, well, let me back up. Jen says, this is a great idea. I love starting the meeting with something positive. That's how we start all of our, our weekly sessions for our team, for our RG group, is we say, what's one success you've had this week? success, and we celebrate that together. Darcy says personalized thank you cards, handwritten. You guys got it. You guys got it. So the strategies will come naturally to you. And if they don't, go to the homework tonight and take a look at everyone's homework and see what they're doing and scribble down a bunch of notes, right? But I want to share this one with you. For those of you who are looking to create culture, right? What about developing a welcome culture video? What about developing a welcome video that talks about your culture? That you get on and you say, hey, newest member of our team, we want to welcome you. And then you have a bunch of your people being like, hi, 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 right? Or maybe by yourself as a supervisor saying, in what you stand for, we stand for this. We serve this group. We want to welcome you. Here's, where all the records, the resources are for you. Here's where this is for you. And we want to know that we have a culture of welcomeness here, of invitedness, and whatever the real words are that I'm making up right now, right? Have any of you done that? Have any of you done a welcome video to really set the stage of culture right away? Set that stage of culture right away. Okay. So Michelle says, oh my God, like the video they did on The Office in town. Yeah, exactly. Creating that culture, exactly. So you have some really good ideas. I saw Victor, Melissa Gallen, Lisa Morissette, talking about some different things. So be sure to look up on those. And I want to take, I want to take a second because several of you, we hopped on the phone this weekend, and several of you want to hop on the phone or have some questions about some of the emails that we've been sending you and some of the language that we've been sharing you relative to our RG program. So we're going to end this with just 2 minutes of specific questions that you were asking and answers to those questions. Okay. So some of you said, 2 of you actually said, what exactly is RG Incubator program? And so it really is a blueprint. It's a blueprint program for supervisors to gain confidence, skills, and presence. That's the goal, that you gain confidence, skills, and presence to lead teams into success. So that's the goal of that program. Some of you said, 3 of you said, how long is the program? The program is 12 months, but I will say many people join for multiple sessions, right? They just love it that much. Gen Z is one of them. Nick R is another one of them, which is awesome. Someone asked, how is it structured? So the way it works is we have 1 topic a month. We dive into that topic with a module, like a paper module, right? That you get from the Podia website, which is our platform. And the module talks about that 1 topic of the month. And so each week we meet and we talk about the module that we're looking at in a different capacity. So week 1 is instructional. We talk about the details. Do you know how to communicate effectively? Let's say it's about communication. Do you know how to communicate effectively? What are your biggest communication challenges? Here's a strategy for communicating. So we really get into the instruction of it. Then the following week, we might do reflection. So we get on in and we say, okay, let's reflect on your communication skills. Let's reflect on your experience. So we get into your reflections on the next week. The following week, we'll have a coaching role play, right? So I'll pretend, or someone will pretend that they are the employee, and you will actually practice coaching them. You will practice communicating, or whatever the topic of the month is. And then we have an open forum, usually on the last week of the month. It's an open forum where during these, we kind of just wrap up any lingering questions relative to that topic of the month, okay? And so, and it really, we focus on what inspired action can you do today to move yourself forward. So it's really nice because you can attend all of them, you can attend none of them, you can attend, 1 or 2 of them, whatever kind of is right for you. Most people attend all of them because they want to soak up all the juice and they want to build the relationships with other supervisors. So that's how it works. It's 1 topic a month, and each week we play like a different part of that topic each week, and you show up to the one that you need the most. So that's really good. Then there's also a separate section on building infrastructure. So policies, procedures, retention strategies, all of that's always going on a different day of the week, every single week. So that's what's going on. Someone said, what's the commitment level? And so I would say to you, if you are thinking about a coaching program, the commitment level is once a week for 1 hour. right? We encourage folks to show up once a week, but sometimes, you can show up maybe a couple times a month, and that would be enough for you, right? And so the sessions themselves, the modules themselves, maybe 2 or 3 pages long. They might have some links to other resources or downloads that are going to help you. There's some templates that you can look through. So it really is as much or as little as you want. And then there's also so that's the group portion of it. And then we also have the one-on-one coaching, which is 30 minutes once a month, one-on-one, where we identify your goals, your accountability, your strategies. So that's it's flexible in terms of its commitment, but most people attend everything and they love it. But we have some folks who just can't do it on certain days, and that's okay too. And there's recordings as well, right? So someone says, what if I miss a session? And it says, your development is as fast or as slow as you need it to be. This is a self-paced 12 months. So we understand. Some of you take other courses. Some of you are in ISEA courses. Some of you that I'm even teaching. Some of you are in tactical courses. Some of you are in, it's just a busy season for you. And some of you are like, I want to gobble it all up. So it really is at your own pace. We have several folks who are working on certifications, working on graduate and PhD degrees, and they're in test time, and they're like, hey, I'm going to slow down the ebb over here and then flow over here and then switch it around, right? So it really is flexible, and it really is self-paced, okay? Someone asked, what are the topics that are included? And so I can tell you that we focus everything leadership. So leadership cascade. So we've kind of talked a little bit about characteristics, right, in leadership that you need, but we did so much surface this past week. What we really have done here is given you some idea of what it's like to work with our team, to dig in deeper, and the support that you get is just phenomenal. So topics would be really digging into, how do I cultivate belonging with my team? How do I create high purpose environments? Give me tools to do this. How do I create cooperation? How do I build out those relationships? How do I promote growth and sustainability? Who do I talk to? How do I build that roadmap for my employees, right? How do I effectively communicate? Communication is always a big one, right? How do I actively innovate? How do I get people to be motivated and inspired to take action on their own and not wait for me? So we have a whole section all about that. How do I become a coach? Like many of you know, as a supervisor, that you must mentor your people, but you can't find the time for it, or you just don't know how to do it. So we really give you very specific tools to mentor your people, because it is important that you rise them. It is important that you mentor them. So we give you tools to do it in a way that's streamlined, that's efficient and effective for you, and in a way that really maximizes your time, because we know that you're super busy. We encourage you, we have a whole section on thinking like a leader, right? Thinking like a leader. How do I think like this? How do I process like this? Jen says it's very customizable. Yeah, it's exactly where you're at. She says, so whether you're new in the industry, been in for some time, or you're looking to make changes to something new, we make the program fit your specific needs. Exactly. We have business owners in there who are like, okay, how do I gain influence in the marketing arena? We have supervisors who are brand new to supervision. They're like, where do I start? We have supervisors who've been supervisors for 10 years who are looking to really develop on a different level, build more of that legacy piece, which is what we do. Yeah, Michelle says, I love that it's customizable. So many programs are not. Yeah, so we have the module system set up so that, if you want to learn about a specific topic, that's what you do, but it is 100% customizable. And then we talk about using your intuition as being a key component of all of this, the leader's intuition. So there's the module system that's extremely helpful because there's all the building blocks, and they're there the whole year, right? They're there for you the whole year. So wherever you are, sometimes you go through them faster than others, right? Sometimes you want something specific in that moment. And that's really what makes it different, is that 12 months gives you support for a long period of time where issues can come up that you never even dreamt those issues existed, right? And so a week long is not going to give you all the tools that you need. It's not going to give you the group support, and it's not going to give you that one-on-one accountability that many people and many supervisors are looking for and need. So those were the questions that I got. Were there any other questions? Let's see. And if there are questions, feel free. We can set up a call and figure out what is this even for me? So, I did get a question. Should my police department pay for this if you belong to a police agency? Or should my company pay for this if you belong to a company? And so the answer is it's really up to you. I would say about 80 to 85% of the people in the program have self-funded because they realize that leadership is a transferable quality, right? And so they really invest in themselves knowing that leadership is going to go with them anywhere in their career, right? Some agencies and some corporations, especially during COVID, have increased budgeting, right? Virtual budgeting for training. So some folks are able to tap in, like Sergeant Rio was able to tap in to that. Some have not. Some have done the opposite and they've completely shut it off. And I encourage you not to wait for your company and not to wait for your agency to fund you. Jen Corner went through the program and she funded herself because she knew that it was transferable. She actually did a presentation for us on our YouTube. I'll share it with you later, that talks about why she chose to do RG leadership programming, because she knows that it's transferable wherever she goes. And she's not going to wait for an agency or a company to tell her that it's time for her to grow. She's going to go there and get it herself. And so I encourage you to think like that too. I encourage you to really own your own growth. But either way, if you need some materials for your supervisors, if you're like, no, we have funding for this kind of stuff and all I need is some documentation, we can provide that to you. But if you're on the other end of it saying, you know what, I want transferable skills. I want to invest in me. I find that it works very well for those folks because those folks are the ones who show up. We have 9 people going through a cohort right now. And I believe almost all of them, maybe one, are showing up. They funded themselves. And the one who got funded by her agency is showing up. She's a rock star. She's a rock star. But the reality is, I've invested in my own coaches for years and it has changed my life immensely, right? In degrees that I never knew possible. Financial success, family success, leadership of self success in ways that I've never known possible. But now that I know this, we build all of this into our programming. I know that it's possible, and we've seen the successes of other folks over the last weekend, and those are just 4 of our folks, right? So I encourage you, take a minute, take a breath, take a leap, step back, do it all, right? Jen says, also in my job interview, I get to say that I made the investment in me, which makes more of a difference. Yes. In fact, we have a couple of folks like that, Jen, who feel the same way. They get to say, I took charge of my growth. I stepped forward, right, and took charge of my growth. I love that, Jen. Erica says it's really been life-changing. Absolutely, absolutely. Shannon says I'm using that in my interview. Yeah, Shannon's going on an interview, and she's taking control of her own growth and development. And so we've never had anyone who has not transformed. Every single person who's gone through our programming has transformed, and I'm proud of that. And we are committed to that, to your growth and to our own growth. And so I encourage you to take a look and think about it. So if you are ready to hop on the phone and just ask some questions, some private questions, you can reach out to me directly, or you can reach out to Caroline Collins and we'll get you on the phone ASAP. We'll figure out some solutions for you. It might, we look for very specific things in our program. And so you might not be a good fit. And we might say, this is not a good fit for you right now. And that's okay too. We might be able to hook you up with some other solutions as well that might be a better fit for you at this point in your career. So either way, we are here to support you. We are here to see you grow and help you grow. So for those of you who are playing catch up, make sure that you're completely caught up, because tomorrow is the last of the last. Tomorrow we wrap it all up. I know that you found value. I saw all those blue hearts. I know that you are finding value. It is the last day tomorrow. Complete the process. Complete the process, show up. If you are committed to showing up, oh good, Lisa already has a session scheduled with Caroline. That's fantastic. Yeah, Michelle Wentz, this is all for, no, it's not all for personal development. It's for personal and professional development, for sure, for sure. It definitely will help you professionally. It definitely will help you personally as well. So let's see, Caroline says, when you jump on the phone with one of us, you will come out with some type of aid or solution. Absolutely. So whether or not our coaching is right for you, we're still going to give you some solutions. I'm tapped into a lot of federal funders that, Celia will say, during our conversation today, I gave her some resources too. So there are resources available for you depending on your situation as well. So whatever place you sit, whether it's your own growth or your agency's or your company's growth, we're happy to point you to some resources. Yes. Oh, yes, it is for you. Oh, sorry about that. Yes, I got you now, Michelle. I got you. That's great. We'd love to hop on the phone with you, Michelle. I think you'd be fantastic. All right, so we'll see you all tomorrow. If you are committed to showing up tomorrow, I want you to put into the chat right now, fire. I want you to put into the chat right now, fire, because you're on fire. You're on fire. You guys are showing up. This will be day 7 tomorrow. I want you to go ahead and whether you're listening live or to the replay, I want you to put in fire so that we know that you are showing up live tomorrow. And we'll go from there. Ria's showing up. She's showing up. Michelle, there's a little fire emoji. You guys can use the emoji too if you want. She mentioned the blue hearts. Yes, exactly. Lisa's showing up tomorrow. Alicia Lamb is showing up tomorrow. Celia's showing up tomorrow. She's on fire. Yes. Jen is showing up tomorrow. I love it. Michelle is showing up, and I don't know. I'm going to have to wear a new color. What do you guys think? What color? Blue? Red? What color? Look at that. Fire. Darcy's on fire. Lily's on fire. Abigail's on fire. I like it. New Michelle is on fire. Alicia. I love it. Yeah. We're going to get fancy. You're going to get fancy. I know, Lisa. They find those emojis pretty fast, huh? Pretty fast. All right, so I'm going to think about the jacket color for tomorrow. But thank you, Celia, today for your inspiration for this orange. And I cannot wait to see you all tomorrow. Some of you are saying blue. Oh, blue for earth. All right, I'm going to have to go find some blue. I think I'm inspired to do blue. I like it. Purple for royalty. You guys are flipping amazing. I love it. MJ is on fire. He's coming back. I love it. All right, so we will see you all tomorrow. Thank you so much for your extra time today, for your commitment to you. I appreciate each and every one of you. Get the homework done. We can't wait to celebrate your successes. See you tomorrow.